Hey guys, what we're going to work on today is learning about coordinate planes. So this right here is called a plane, and we have to plot points on it, and those points have certain coordinates or an address that tells us where to plot the points. So a few things we need to know about a coordinate plane. First of all, this coordinate plane goes up to 8. Coordinate planes could go on and on. You know, they could go up to 100 or different things like that. The coordinate plane is really two number lines that come together. There's this number line, and this is called the x-axis, and it goes this way. And then there is this number line along the side, and it is called the y-axis. Now, you need to know the difference between the x and y-axis, and one way that I like to remember the y-axis is if you make, you know, a very block traditional Y. Do you see how, excuse me, you have this part and it goes up and down or vertical. And so it reminds me that the Y-axis goes up and down or vertical. So you have the x and the y-axis that come together to make this coordinate plane. And this is a very important point right here, where they come together. Where they come together is point 0, 0. And it is called the origin. It has a name called the origin. And that's because that's really where you're going to originate your work. You're always going to start at the origin, 0, 0, and move from there. Now, I know most of you are Buckeyes out there, and so there's a great way that we can remember how to work with the coordinate plane, and that is OSU. And the reason why we would say OSU is because we always go over, then we stop, and then we go up. Now, in upper grades, you're going to learn about the full coordinate plane, and the full coordinate plane would actually include negatives as well. So the full coordinate plane looks like this. And so where we're working right now is right here in this coordinate plane, and so all of our values are going to have positive numbers. In upper grades, you'll go into these other 3 quadrants. It's called a quadrant because there's 4 of them. 4 means quad. And in these other quadrants, there are some negative numbers that you'll deal with. So for right now, we're always going to overstop up. However, later, you might overstop up or down. So you're either going to go up or down after you go over, but you always go over first. One way that I like to remember that is you have to walk over to the stairs before you can go up or down them. You have to walk over to a ladder before you can go up and down a ladder. So how about if you're watching this video right now, you write the word ladder on your paper, the word ladder. Okay, so on our coordinate plane, we start at 0, 0, and it's really pretty simple. What we have to do is plot points. So if I have the point 8, 7, this is called an ordered pair. It's a pair of numbers that are in an order that tell us where to go. And really, we can think of it like an address. So the point 8, 7, we're always going to start at the origin and go over 8. So we go over to 8 right here, and then we're going to go up to 7. And so we would plot this point over 8, up 7 at 8, 7. And a lot of times we need to label that point. Sometimes we label it with the coordinates. Sometimes we might label it, let's say we say this is point R. We might put an R right there. Okay, so you're always going to go over before you go up or down. So let's do another one. Let's say we're going to plot the points 1, 8. Well, I'm going to go over 1. So I start at my origin, over 1, and then up to 8. And this would be point 1, 8. It's really important that you get them in the right order because this is point 1, 8. Over here is point 8, 1. it's over 8 up 1. Those are like opposites, and so it's really important that you always go over first so that you are getting the correct address for your coordinate. So this is a coordinate plane. You've got the x-axis and the y-axis, and we have our x value and our y value in an ordered pair. This is called an ordered pair because it's a pair of numbers that we have to work with in the right order. You always start at the origin, you go over, then up. So one last point that we're going to plot on here, and let's make it point G. Point G, let's do at 2, 5. So we're going to go over 2, up 5, where 2 and 5 come together. That would be point G. That's the basics on coordinate planes. See you next time.